I'm going to say this. I love my head coach for a lot of reasons. And there was some video that came out the other day after the Chiefs game, what Nick Sirianni did. And I got to say, I absolutely loved it. There's going to be a lot of fans that hate it, a lot of stuff. So I want to go over that. I want to go over the press conferences. I want to go over, because I know the Eagles had walkthrough the other day, injuries, returning players, all that crazy stuff, some updated news on Shaq Leonard. And a lot more. So definitely got a short week this week. The Buffalo Bills got to get prepared, and let's get into it.
We better do that. Because I've seen enough horror movies to know any weirdo wearing a mask is never friendly.
Yo, what is going on, guys? I hope everyone's having a fantastic day today. So definitely a lot to talk about regarding this roster. Obviously, the Bills this week, which we'll get into in probably in a day or two, probably after Thanksgiving. We'll get into the Bills a little bit. But Nick Sirianni, okay, this was kind of circulating all over the internet when it came to Nick, his reaction after beating the Chiefs, and this is what happened. I love it. I absolutely love this. And there's a lot of fans that hate this. Some Eagle fans actually don't like this. I've even seen Eagle fans say, oh, he's not professional and making himself look like an asshole. I mean, just back and forth, stupid crap. There's media guys in the NFL that talk about this. It's just, dude, like, this team's 9-1. I don't give a crap how the coach acts. Obviously, to a certain extent. I think we all know this. Okay? He is like a fan. He reminds me of us being fans. He's like a fan of his own team that he's coaching. Okay? I like that the coach has some fire. And let me tell you something. Nick talks about getting a win every week and talks about being 1-0 every single week. But do you not think that how he felt after losing that Super Bowl? Do you not think that there was a lot of stuff that went on behind the scenes between Howie Roseman, the front office, Nick Sirianni versus Jonathan Gannon, how he threw the game, how Jonathan Gannon was giddy after the game and was careless, how Jonathan Gannon was illegally tampering with the Arizona Cardinals to be the head coach between the NFC Championship game last year and the Super Bowl. I mean, an opportunity that was pretty much wasted for the last game of the season, okay? And by Nick's reaction right here, it's telling me that this game was more than just being 1-0 this week. This game was he wanted to beat this team any shape and form. Doesn't matter how they did it, whether they won by a point or no points, whatever. Okay, this is what it shows. It just shows. And I respect everybody's opinion of Nick Sirianni, but for myself, I love when he acts like this. I don't give a shit. Because you know what? At the end of the day, like, you're not Dan Campbell of the Lions. Like, you beat the Bears, and he's like, ah! Like, he's like, you know what I mean? Like, and there's a lot of games this year where Nick isn't like this. But this game held a little bit more weight to it. I mean, they had over 28 million people were watching this game. 28 million and 27 years. Okay, 27 years. There hasn't been a regular season football game watched as much as this game we just had Monday night. You beat the best quarterback in football. Okay? The best quarterback in football. You beat the second-ranked defense, and the field was not a slippery pile of shit. Okay? Let me say that again. The field wasn't a slippery pile of crap. And that is just the truth. Okay? I have no issue with stuff like the Eagles only won 3 games this year. I would say, dude, chill out. Like, just chill out. You know what I mean? But I know he wouldn't act like this if we were, you know what I mean? But it's confidence within himself as a coach, and people hate his ass. Everybody hates him. Rival fans, not even just rival fans. There are other, like, just fans in general of other teams are just like, dude, this guy is full of himself. Like I love this shit. We don't like, I mean, seriously, we have been dealing with Nick and how this is how he expresses himself. I think we all got to respect it. I'm not going to complain about it. Eagles lost one game this year, and there's a big chance they go double-digit wins next week. So I can't complain about any of this going forward. No one likes us. We don't care. Every single week we'll say that. Someone's always going to open their mouth and say something stupid. Oh, as a head coach, he's got to show more respect for the game. I'm like, dude, are you serious right now? You can see the crap that even Buddy Ryan used to say out of his mouth, like during games, after games. I mean, there was literal coaches back in the day punching the crap out of each other on the field. I mean, no joke, dude. Back in the day. Wasn't even alive for most of it. But shit. I have no issue with this. Some Eagle fans in the comment section are going to be like, it's too much, I don't. I want him to do this all the time. You beat the best team on our schedule. You beat the Super Bowl champs. Okay? It doesn't mean that, look, the only thing that means is that you stood toe to toe with the team and you did your job. Okay? You don't win an Arrowhead that easily. And I think everyone's going to look at this and say, wow, this is great. And I don't blame Nick. Nick Sirianni must have been in his feelings after that loss, and a lot was going on behind the scenes because that's just built up. This is called built up frustration from the Super Bowl last year. I mean, this is what it is. To finally, I understand this isn't a playoff game. This is a Super. I get it. I think it's funny as hell too, and it's entertaining, but when I see that mean look in his eye, it's just like, all right, we beat your ass. Everyone shut the hell up. We're on to the next team. But there was a little bit more fire during this. There was a little bit more fire within Nick Sirianni, in his heart, in his mind, that he really wanted this. And not saying that no one else wanted it, but Nick wanted it probably the most out of probably anybody. And I don't blame him at all. Trust me. Must be the worst feeling to lose a Super Bowl, walk away when you have a defensive coordinator that literally just gave the fucking game away pretty much. I mean, there's other factors that go into it. We can go scoop and score from Jalen Hurts. We can go the punt from our end zone. I get it. Kadarius Toney, I get it. But this is just a coach with a lot of spirit, and I'm glad we have a coach like this. I mean, Doug wasn't even like this, and Doug was a good coach, So it's something different, and I like it, and people are just, screw the people that hate it. Don't care. Now, I want to go into Nick Sirianni's quotes, at least from the press conference that he definitely had, yesterday. Talked about BrianJohnson a lot. There, of course, was going to be questions about BrianJohnson because of the play calling and stuff like that. So a lot was said. Is Nick's called BrianJohnson, a really good situational play caller. He supports him. I mean, he said BrianJohnson has done a phenomenal job calling the game. Shane Steichen did a great job, but we haven't missed a beat. I get that's kind of like, all right, bro, chill out. I love you, but chill out a little bit here. I don't think the offense looks the exact same from last year. I can't compare this year to last year because it's not the same. Okay, it's definitely 100% not the same. Okay, what I could say is that what is the same or better is Jalen Hurts is statistically better. Jalen Hurts is throwing way better than the pocket this year, and he threw from the pocket well last year. This year he's throwing even better. And because of the injury that he's had with his knee, it has really, because sometimes injuries are a blessing in disguise because it makes a player do some other things to get better at. And I think Jalen Hurts has become even a better pocket passer this year, which is fantastic. So a few things, and we have to. No one talks about how great BrianJohnson is. And I'm like, yeah, I get it. We're 9-1. We should feel happy. after watching all 22 and what BrianJohnson did. And I feel like BrianJohnson's getting better. It's just situational shit, man. That's just annoying, dude. Third and short and putting in the wrong running back or not running the ball or passing or throwing a dart on short yardage or stuff like that. You're back into your end zone. You run 2 screen passes, and then you do a QB draw. Like, there's just shit that just puzzles me. Those really late handoffs that get clogged up, and I felt like at the end of the fourth quarter, before they gave the Eagles back to KC. Before the Eagles gave the ball back to KC, they were running those late handoffs and getting tackled in the backfield on purpose to keep, waste more time. I feel like the Eagles can put teams away so much easier. Like when Travis Kelce fumbled that damn football, dude, and Roby punched it out. I mean, those 3 plays were just they were horrible. And I feel like you could have put Dallas away. You could have put Washington away earlier. I mean, you could have wasted so much more time if you just threw the ball down the field and not play the conservative game like they do. Every time they're backed up, they play the conservative game. And I don't get why they do that, because it just makes this game more of a nail-biter. Can't stand that shit. It's really annoying. Time management and situational football on certain downs is my 2 biggest problems with BrianJohnson. And I see people on Twitter, everybody saying, give this guy more time. I'm like, give him more time. I get it, but Jesus. I mean, he did a good job against KC. I mean, against KC, it wasn't too bad because we had a couple explosive plays. Compared to both offenses between the Eagles and KC, like KC didn't even really throw an explosive pass downfield that was completed. I mean, the one at the end of the game that was dropped, but I mean, really didn't, our defense did a fantastic job too, but our offense, though, situational football and time management, like I feel like they're just making it harder on themselves to put teams away early, man. Stop bringing this to literally the fourth quarter of every damn game. Like, a little bit of separation would be nice at times. Instead of making this damn shit harder and harder, pause, every single week, man. So I don't hate BrianJohnson. I feel like he is. I feel like he's definitely like learning shit this year. What it's showing me is that BrianJohnson is literally like, they handed the reins to BrianJohnson after Steichen left, and Johnson had a lot on his plate, and it looks like it is getting better, but the easy things need to be fixed. Like I said, like, gotta watch for time and gotta put teams away and waste more clock. Like, I think the way they're trying to be conservative and try to waste clock at the same time, thinking they're going to get first downs from that, it's just not going to happen. You know what I mean? I wasn't happy with BrianJohnson in the first half of the game, but they came back and they played really well. So can't complain about that too much going forward. But that was pretty much what Nick said. I mean, nothing much. He talked about the Jalen Hurts, A.J. Brown interception. He said, some guys just aren't really on the same page. It just happens. Whatever, and that's all that was at the end of the day, so I'm not going to make a big deal about it. I'll talk about the injuries for the Philadelphia Eagles. And guys, like, being healthy at this point is the most important thing right now. And the only injury we have, technically, besides the ones we have on, that are out the rest of the season or on the IR, Milton Williams, who left Monday's game and with a concussion. Okay, he played really damn well. Got to say, he had a few good tackles for loss in the backfield. He was, I mean, Milton Williams he's always involved, man, always producing at times. So since it's a short week, he's on concussion protocol. It looks like he's probably not going to play. I wouldn't say he's going to, but it's tough. They take these concussions seriously now, so like the length of time could be kind of crazy. So you could be one man down on your defensive line and Milton Williams, which I don't think is a huge deal, but definitely helps against the run, though. Definitely, no doubt. Now, I want to talk about 2 players that officially could come back this week. I didn't hear much on these 2 guys, and wide receiver Quez Watkins and safety Justin Evans. Now, getting Justin Evans back is going to be great, gives you more depth at safety, and I feel like since the Eagles are getting more healthy, I feel like this side is starting to exploit the strengths of some of these players and not set them up to fail and always put them in good positions to win that rep or win football games in general. And Evans, really, to be honest with you, Justin Evans hasn't played bad. He hasn't played fantastic. I think Justin Evans has been pretty damn solid, in my opinion. I think he's played pretty damn well for the Eagles this year. So since he was a second-round pick in 2017, Justin Evans has done nothing when it comes to staying healthy. He has been hurt every single year of his career. You know what I mean? And it really sucks, man. But I'm glad they get him back. They already have Sidney Brown here. I mean, they're locked and loaded at safety right now. I mean, locked and loaded. Kevin Byard is starting to fit very well. Reed Blankenship is like probably a top 10 safety statistically right now. I mean, Reed Blankenship's playing very, very well. Thought his coverage was really good against KC. I actually liked some of his coverage, which I haven't been a fan of all year. But, man, played a pretty damn good game on Monday night. And the most importantly, Quez Watkins is another one here. Man, I miss Quez. I'm not going to lie. Pause, but I do. I miss the speed. I miss the burning mentality. I just miss it, like, beyond. Like, we actually have, like, Quez comes back, and I don't know if he's activated. His 21-day window's activated yet. I don't know what's going on. But he was on IR a few days. It's been a few weeks. It's been like almost, I think, 4 weeks. I think he should be back this week. I mean, unless I'm wrong. The problem that I have right now is if Quez does come back and he hasn't played in a while, does Jalen Hurts trust Quez to make the big time catches? That's the big question, because you gave Quez Watkins an opportunity last year in that Super Bowl to get one of the most important catches of the game that went right through his hands. Okay, plus he wasn't playing consistently at the end of last year because he had this grade 2 shoulder sprain that he kept to himself. Didn't say a damn word until the end of the season, till the season was pretty much over at that point. But Quez, man, like, if there is any way that he could be fine, I mean, I don't think he's earned a re-signed contract with the Eagles unless they want to keep him this year, after this year. But just talking about the game in general, though, where he could play the rest of this season and really bring some speed on that inside, which we really desperately need. We really don't have anybody else that's capable to play on the inside, besides obviously Julio Jones, but obviously Quez is just a lot faster. And his route running is not bad either. It's just really, being trusted with a catch. That Rams game was a big turnaround for me because Devontae Smith didn't have any statistics that day because it was the A.J. Brown game. It looked like Hurts forced it to Devontae Smith in pretty much the right side of the end zone. And Quez Watkins was in front of him wide open 2 times in that game. And Hurts missed him on one. And then the second one, I don't know. They rather throw it to Devontae Smith in traffic, I guess. I don't know if there's a trust factor with Quez Watkins between Jalen Hurts and Quez Watkins. I mean, I don't think he's mad at all or nothing's going on, nothing whatsoever. But I feel like, man, if Quez can catch up to speed and, like, I just want him to be reliable. I don't want him to mess up drives and drop balls or drop something through his hands on one of the most important throws of the season. That's what I get worried about. So we'll find out what happens this week. I'm very excited about it. And, Milton will probably be out of here, but you're going to be getting, Justin Evans, Quez Watkins officially, hopefully coming back. This would be some nice firepower to this offense. No joke. Quez, I definitely miss him terribly. I do miss the speed, miss that speed on the inside on top of what we have. I think he'll play well, hopefully. Just don't want any mistakes down the road. Just want him to be reliable and not be an asset that nobody wants to be around. When it comes to his play and can't, thinks that he can't do much of anything. So I thought that was really interesting. Now, there was some news on now a free agent, but off waivers after 4 o'clock, which was the other day. We'll find out if he gets signed. If he does, while making this video, it is what it is. But there's some rumors going on with Shaq Leonard. Now it looks like he might be taking his time just a little bit to sign with a team. So he'll start visiting teams. That's what I heard. I mean, I don't know if this is official yet, but it sounds like he's going to go visit a couple teams. And I'd be shocked if he didn't visit the Eagles. And I've said this. I think he's a big claim prospect for the Eagles. No joke. you're taking on $6 million in dead cap. You're taking on 2 injuries, 2 surgeries he had last year. So, and unfortunately, the Colts haven't been the usage of Shaq Leonard. It just hasn't been good. And I know that he's been very vocal about, why aren't they using me? What's going on? It comes down to health, man. It comes down to health, and that's all that matters. So we're going to find out what happens here, but hopefully Howie pounces on this. I mean, he was looking for a linebacker last week at Anthony Barr. Didn't work out. Nakobe Dean's on IR, so a lot going on here with Shaquille Leonard, and we'll see what happens with him. And lastly, I want to go by a guy we haven't talked about in weeks, man. I think Braden Mann's been a fantastic punter for us. I think Britton Covey is our punt returner for the future, man. Like, this is our guy. He is averaging 20. He's averaging, 20 yards, like 20-plus yards. I mean, it's absolutely insane. I don't know if he's in first place in the league or something like that. But as for right now, like, Britton Covey is killing it right now. I mean, he's killing it. I didn't think wasn't a big fan of him too much last year. And I felt like there's a lot more that he could do. Michael Clay, I wasn't a big fan of him re-signing with the Eagles and what they were doing with him. So Britton Covey is doing when you don't have to talk about a player, you're happy. You know what I mean? And Britton Covey makes me happy because he's doing his job. I noticed his vision is getting better. The game has slowed down significantly for him. And he's going to become a better player because of it. You know what I mean? So very excited for Britton Covey. It's just so fantastic how well he's done. And that's it. Before I go to sleep, sorry, I'm pretty tired. So, other than that, guys, that's pretty much it. I mean, we went through pretty much, this week in general with the roster, Milton Williams injury, Nick Sirianni. What do you think about Nick Sirianni and what he did after that Chiefs game? Did you like it? Did you didn't like it? Was it unprofessional? Do you not care? You let me know in the comment section below. If you guys haven't subscribed, make sure you subscribe to the channel, like the video as well. It does help the channel a lot. And you guys have been fantastic, and I thank all of you for following the news. And I will see you on the next one. Shakes, what up, follows. Peace out, guys. Peace.